Word leaked late last week that Vice President Joe Biden is a top contender for the job of Secretary of State if Hillary Clinton wins. Biden, however, signaled that he's not interested. We want to conclude today with the Vice President's reflections on his 47 years in public service and what he plans to do next.
What does it mean to be an Obama whisperer?
Well, you know, I had the advantage, and I think it's fair to say, of knowing an awful lot of the people we brought into the cabinet longer and better than Barack, than the president. And although they had enormous respect for the president, they weren't as used to dealing with him as I was. So and he doesn't wear his feelings on his sleeve all the time. And so people would say...
And you wear them on both sleeves.
Unfortunately, it's a draw. The president kids, he said, you know, Joe and I, we make up for each other's shortcomings. He makes up for mine. He has very few. So what it means is I have his confidence. I am a close friend of his. He knows he can trust me 1,000%.
The number of lunches you will have, weekly lunches with the president, is dwindling.
Yeah, we're still going to hang out a little bit.
You're going to hang out after it's over?
Yeah, for real.
You might just have longer lunches.
Yeah, we may have longer lunches, yeah.
Do you talk about the fact that you're, you know, the exits?
Yeah, we do. We talk a lot about what each of us are going to do and what we might be able to do together. But the bottom line is both of us feel that there are the things that motivated us to get into politics are still the things that shape our lives and our interests and make us happy. And so you're going to see the president deeply involved in a lot of the things he's been continued to be involved in, and I'm not going away. You know, everything from this issue of violence against women to income inequality to the cancer moonshot. I'm going to devote the rest of my life to this.
What's it going to feel? I mean, since you were 29.
I don't know. I must tell you, I know there's an awful lot that I will have access to do, but I have never, from the time I've actually been 26, every morning I've gotten up, you know, somebody hands me a card that has my schedule on it, and, you know, and I know what I'm about to do. I know what I want to work on, and so it's going to be an adjustment. I honestly don't. I've enjoyed. I have been so proud of being involved in public service that I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, other than the structure of, you know, American political system.
You've been asked 1,000 times if you regret not deciding not to run. Was there ever a moment in the last year where you said, boy, I'm glad I didn't run?
Well, I guess yes, in that some of the vitriol that exists today and some of the stuff that the other team's doing, I just am glad my grandkids, you know, I sit and say, God, I mean, how do you respond to a guy on stage when he, I mean, I'm just happy. Let me put it another way. A woman who runs my office has a daughter that's in, I think, 6th grade. I called her on Columbus Day, which was a holiday, to check my schedule the next day. And I said, you watch the debate? And her comment was, my daughter had a girlfriend over from class. They were supposed to watch the debate. The first few minutes, I had to turn it off. I didn't want my daughter seeing this debate. The stuff of, you know, anyway, so yeah, there's sometimes but look, I think I made the right decision for my family and for me, and I think Hillary's going to be a hell of a good president.
In 1972, when you announced you were running for the Senate, this is what you said.
God almighty, you did your homework.
We're divided people. We have too often allowed our differences to prevail among us. We have too often allowed ambitious men to play off those differences for political gain. We have too often retreated behind our differences when no one really tried to lead us beyond them. Feels like you could give that speech today.
I could, but I tried my best to lead us beyond them, and I think for a significant period of our time we did. You know, history runs in cycles. You know, I say to young people out there, they said, well, why would I get involved now with the dysfunction in government? We were more divided substantively when I ran and made that speech than today. The Vietnam War, the women's movement, the civil rights movement was still not finished. The whole environmental movement. I mean, it divided families. I mean, it divided friends, those things. People didn't speak to one another over them. And yet my generation we did get involved. We did make a difference. We did change things in the 70s and the 80s. But it moves, and the abuse of power is always just right there and reached for by people who shouldn't be in power. And we need people to speak up to it, speak out against it. And that's what I have tried to do my whole career. I don't make myself out to be a hero, but I don't think you'll find anybody in public life I dealt with that I've ever not tried to bridge the differences with, not be honest with.
On your last day of office, what are you going to do? What
I'm going to do is go home and begin to figure out what I do for the rest of my life. And I think I hope to be able to do the same things I'm doing now out of office.
Mr. Vice President.
Hopefully.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.